Merlin, the magician behind the myth. There is a name that echoes through the corridors of Western legend with a persistence that borders on the uncanny. It is whispered in Welsh ruins, inscribed in the margins of medieval manuscripts, invoked in the prophecies of kings. Merlin, the architect of Camelot, the summoner of storms, the prophet whose visions shook the thrones of Europe. And yet no one can say with certainty whether he ever lived at all. To find him, one must travel backward through layers of legend, so dense they have become indistinguishable from truth. In the earliest Welsh sources, he is Myrddin Wyllt, a bard, driven mad by battle who fled into the Caledonian forests, speaking prophecy to the trees. Behind this figure, scholars see something older still, the Celtic druid, the inspired madman whose ecstatic visions were considered messages from the Otherworld. It was Geoffrey of Monmouth, writing around 1136, who transformed Merlin into a titan of European literature. In Geoffrey's telling, Merlin reveals dragons locked in combat beneath a tyrant's tower, engineers the conception of King Arthur, and constructs Stonehenge through a fusion of mechanics and sorcery. Geoffrey's Merlin became the wise counselor, the master of hidden knowledge, and the architect of a golden age destined to fall. The powers attributed to him are staggering: shape-shifting, weather manipulation, sight across vast distances, knowledge of past and future. His gifts, the legends say, came from his parentage, the union of a mortal woman and an otherworldly spirit. But some have asked a more radical question: what if his magic was not supernatural at all? What if it was the remnant of a forgotten science, a natural philosophy from an age more advanced than the medieval world could comprehend? His prophecies were perhaps his most tangible legacy. The prophet Merlin circulated across Europe with extraordinary speed, cited by English kings to justify their wars, by Welsh nationalists to promise deliverance, by pamphleteers as late as the English Civil War. Even today, researchers argue that certain passages correspond to events far beyond the medieval horizon. And then there is his connection to the Otherworld, the parallel realm of Celtic tradition, populated by beings older than humanity. Merlin moved between worlds with an ease no other Arthurian figure could match. His relationship with the Lady of the Lake, a figure who dwells beneath sacred waters and provides the sword Excalibur, may represent not romance, but contact with a non-human intelligence. Among the strangest theories is that Merlin was a man out of time, a survivor of a prehistoric civilization, possessing knowledge of astronomy and engineering millennia ahead of his era. The legends describe him aging in reverse, present at events separated by centuries, speaking of the future as though he had already lived it. His end is the most haunting passage in all Arthurian literature. The Lady of the Lake, having learned his every secret, seals him in a crystal cave or a hawthorn tree, the most powerful magician in the world, undone by love, imprisoned in a living tomb. But there is another tradition, that Merlin withdrew voluntarily, entering a sleep from which he will awaken when the world has need of him. Somewhere in the forests of Britain, in Carmarthen, in Dinas Emrys, on Bardsey Island, the air feels different. The light bends, a voice seems to come from everywhere and nowhere. And the legend endures. Hawk's Eye is a mini-documentary series where I dive into the most magical, mysterious, and sacred corners of our world, and I'm learning right alongside you. Each episode is a journey into the stories civilizations have whispered about for millennia, from ancient texts and secret societies to forbidden wisdom hiding in plain sight. Come see what we uncover together. For more in-depth information on this subject, head to my website, tfhcalifornia.com.